And so today, what we're going to do is a self-portrait also with using just household items. Um, I really find that getting used to seeing yourself and kind of creating something is very telling of the inside landscape of where you're at. So if you have it available, grab a mirror. This one is like this. It's got two different aspects there. Oh yeah, you can see my easel. I've got an easel right here so that when we're done, we're gonna display my little thing here. But yeah, I've got a mirror. So you can kind of just, if you want, you can go ahead and grab some things around your house. So I'm gonna give you guys like the next 5 minutes, and you can go and grab some things around your house. And I'm going to give you some examples. So, from the kitchen, I'm going to use stuff from the kitchen today. I have cocoa powder, and I'm going to mix this with some water as well and make that into a color. I have organic beet powder, which is a really beautiful reddish color. Or like once water hits it, it gets very red. So I'm going to show you guys. I have a palette here. I have the cocoa powder. I've got the beet powder, and I've been using this already to create some different stuff. And then in this one, I've got butterfly pea flower, which is this really beautiful indigo. Now, you guys could use coffee. You could use anything around the house. I actually brought some bay leaves because I have a glue stick. So I was like, ooh, I want to use natural elements as well. So if you have a glue stick or some sort of thing, if you don't, you could use honey. You could use honey to, if you have a piece of paper, just something, scrap paper, anything that you can get. Just have fun with this. Even if this is on a sticky note, it doesn't matter. This doesn't have to be a complete masterpiece, although it will be just because it's from your heart. A couple other things that you can use. Sharpie. Sharpie, we love these, or they're also known as magic markers. Whiteout. I've got a whiteout little contraption here. I've been actually using this in another self-portrait that is for the finale. I'm going to show for the very first time. I have not shown this yet completely to any of you guys. I've got a really beautiful self-portrait that I have been taking hours and hours and hours to complete using a lot of the elements I've already shown you. Not the bay leaves, but maybe I will add bay leaves to it. Who knows? I think it might be complete already, but I used a bunch of the beet powder and the butterfly pea flower and some tea, and it has all organic materials on the bottom for the background. It's on a big slice of beautiful organic watercolor paper that I got out here in Mexico. Couple other things that you could use. Makeup. So I have a makeup brush, and then I have a little palette here because I'm going to try and use some of this. And then I also have a red lipstick because I got an idea. I got inspired. I was wearing red lipstick for the first time in forever yesterday. And I went to the grocery store, kind of dressed up as a Frida Kahlo, and it felt really empowering. And so she is going to be our spirit guide for the rest of this session today for our first art therapy workshop. So you can see her in the background here. Wait, let's see. Where's my easel? There we are. Look. So you guys can see here. We've got Frida as our spirit guide. She was famously known for doing multiple self-portraits. So, some people call this self-love. Some people call this extreme narcissism. It really just depends. I love doing self-portraits, literally through photography, through art, because I have a healthy amount of self-love, and I just love to kind of look at my own form and create beautiful photo shoots. So yesterday I did a whole Frida Kahlo inspired photo shoot, and that was so amazing, so inspiring. So, okay, I'm seeing all these. Okay, cool. I'm looking at all these little settings here on my thing. Okay, so have you guys grabbed some things? Are we grabbing some things? There's a few people on here. Also, cup of water. If you have paintbrushes, great. I mean, we can use our fingers. Be creative with this. This is not, or maybe you're just watching me and you get inspired to do this later. I encourage you that even if you can grab a marker or a pen and even a sticky note, that would be amazing. And if you can DM it to me at the end of this, I will feel so excited to see what you've come up with. Um, I'm going to start. So I have just this booklet of watercolor. It says it's watercolor paper. No, it's mixed media. Okay, yeah. It's not the greatest kind of paper, but we're going to make do. So I'm going to show you how I kind of do this. Let's see. All right, I'm going to try and do a couple things here. I'm going to just use a Sharpie marker, and that's going to be the base. And I'm going to do most of this is just going to be the paper here. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with this. There we go. Whee! Normally with a pencil you use like to do the actual, we're going to create like a little bit of a graph. So this is kind of like, the beginning. Technical difficulties. Anyways, I'm like, I wish I had like the easel here and it was like tall. This is just a short one, so it's not as easy. But what I had a vision for was to create my skin tone using cocoa powder because I am a little brown person. So I'm going to use a paintbrush, some agua. I'm out here in Mexico right now, so I speak in Spanglish. Hope you're cool with that. And then I'm using the cocoa powder and water. So this is a household item. And I'm going to use this as my base here. So let's see how this looks. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I was hoping for. This is great. So we're just going to go ahead and lay that down. And again, this is no experience necessary. That's the thing about art is it's subjective, which is really fun. Because sometimes I start things and I'm like, oh, I don't know what the heck this is. But then I realize that's kind of the whole point is just to create for creation's sake. So I didn't practice this before. I literally just grabbed a few things. The plan is to have no plan. And I can only see one name that's on here. It says that there's a few people in here. It only notified me that it says Virginia. So I just want to shout out Virginia. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. And I hope that you guys are joining me in creating something. It's good for the mental health. I speak from experience. So we're going to lay this down. There we go. So I was actually raised by two artists. And so my house growing up was very artistic. And, I've just always, whether it's from creating art like this, or photography, or clothing, or everything in my life is just a creative exploration. And my teacher in Peru talks about how it's just the path of beauty, making things beautiful. That is really, in a world that is kind of, especially with the whole AI craze, it's nice to be one that creates things with organic materials. So, okay, this is my base. And I'm just going to keep channeling and creating as we go. So next let's see here. What do I want to do? We're all just creating. So I don't want you necessarily to follow what I'm doing. I want you guys to do your own thing. Use paper clips, use whatever you can. I'm going to give you guys a little break to do kind of your own thing. And I want you guys to just keep seeing what I'm doing because I want you to be in your own flow. I want to figure out a way to use these bay leaves. I just think they're so beautiful. So I'm thinking I want to create some art. Or some a way to use, I'm thinking out loud here. I'm thinking, okay. I'm really inspired these days. If you've been following me, you might know this. I'm really inspired these days by really native hairstyles. So this is why I've been wearing my hair in braids again. My hair is the longest that it's been in absolutely years. Wow. I literally went through a phase of shaving it all off and finding beauty in my own self beyond hair. So that was a process. And it felt super vulnerable to just be like, wow, okay, I'm now here. Everyone can just see who I am, minus um, my, hair hiding my face. So I really was able to get beyond, get beyond the avatar, get beyond this human skin, and to dive deeper into an awareness beyond just the outside. And that was a big process for me. And I feel really grateful. So I don't know about you guys, but the reason why I'm super inspired by just indigenous ways of being, not only because it's slowing down, it's connecting with the elements, the elemental wisdom, but also because my ancestry is native. So I have familia de Mexico, and then I also have familia de Puerto Rico. And then also, I mean, we are Asian, so we've got um, Chinese, we even have Vietnamese. My whole ancestry.com uh, takeaway, like the list that they gave me, was long. I've got a whole plethora of different lineages. It even said that we have first Andean. Um, so I'm giving you guys like a little quick, so we're starting here, giving you guys a peek here. So see, I'm starting to frame out the face. So it started like a lot longer. The face was long, but then we're kind of bringing down this here. And this Sharpie is, because it's on a wet piece of paper, it's not as bold because it's a little bit wet, but that's okay. We work with what we got. We work with what we got. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to do this just like super cash, because the thing is that we all can create, and it doesn't need to be, again, like I said, no experience necessary. I think a lot of people don't create because they think their stuff isn't going to be good enough. And that breaks my heart. Because I'm like, what? We all are artists. The truth is, you know why I know this? Because we're all divine. We are all from the divine, and God is one of the best artists of all. If you've ever seen a good sunset or the beach or different areas in nature, then we realize that Great Spirit is one of the most creative artists of all. And you, my friend, whoever is here watching this or in the replay, are a part of that divine consciousness. So you are a creative, whether you realize it or not. And so I hope today, the very least that you take away is that you can get in the ring, you can create, and there's literally nothing stopping you. Ways of being that are creative, that are not artistic, look like creating a beautiful meal. There's many different ways. It looks like creatively. What other ways? What other ways can we be creative? I mean, cooking, even just people that are more, I've even shared this with others, people that are actually more mathematical. I mean, they're creatively coming out with these numeric structures, and that's totally not how my brain works. But it is all an algorithm. It is all a beautiful uh, way of putting geometry together. That's really what numbers are, is they're also just a numeric code and an algorithm of sorts. So we can be creative even if we have more analytical brains. But intrinsically, as humans, we're all connected to nature, and nature itself. Ooh, getting a little darker here. There we go. Um, Nature itself is one of the most profound creative explorations, right? I just feel like the colors, the vivified kingdoms that live within this creation. Wow, what a gift to be here on this planet, rich with flavor. And we've got, so when I pray, I like to honor the kingdoms. And this is how I say it. I say, thank you to the animal kingdom. Thank you to the fungi kingdom. Thank you to the human kingdom. And the kingdoms that, oh, and I also honor the mineral kingdom and the kingdoms that we know not of yet, because we are precious to think that, we know so much. The more that I think that I know, the less that I know. That's what I know. I remember thinking that I knew everything there for a bit, and that was a scary time. It was stressful to think that I knew everything. So I feel safer in recognizing that I know very little. Okay, we're doing good here. This is a great look at this is like within 5 minutes, guys. Maybe not, maybe a little bit more, but this is our base. This is our base. And so I'm just inspired by my little braids here. See? And I want to create some earrings. I'm not going to be able to do spot on exact. So what I was thinking is that I could use these bay leaves as my earrings. So that's going to be at the end. I'm going to see how this could work with my glue stick. And I'm thinking I can pin these, see, and create some mixed media texture here. Use these as earrings. Ooh, and then that's gonna like perfume the paper because bay leaves have such a beautiful smell. Yeah, I like the little ones a little bit more. I'm gonna use smaller ones. Or we could even do a few. That would be cool, right? That would be cool to do a few of them. So this is the point of creating. It's just like fun. And you just never know what you're gonna get. The way I was gonna do the lips is by putting on red lipstick and literally kissing my own face. Because this is again another form of, you guessed it, self-love. So I'm loving this already. Had no idea that this was going to come out of me today. See, this is why you do these things. All right. I'm going to add a little bit more color to these ears. There we go. All right. Hmm. Ooh, I know. I'm going to use this at the end. Okay, let's see. No, I'll do this now. Okay, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna grab another paintbrush, and I've got that butterfly pea flower. And so this has this beautiful, rich indigo. Indigo. Yeah, look at that. That's gonna be my backdrop. So we're gonna kind of just make this a little bit, I don't want it to be like covering the whole thing. I want it to look a little bit more abstract. So we're just gonna cover it like that. We have a lot going on in the world today. And so I create, and I've been focused a little bit more on art these days because I'm actually going through a bout of what I would say is probably depression. I'm feeling a lot of things right now, working my best, doing my best to like keep myself motivated, but I'm going through definitely a bout of deep rest. That's what depression means. It's deep, needing deep rest. So I'm letting myself rest. I'm living here in Mexico currently, and Just finding myself in a season of transformation, transition, things dying away that, impermanence essentially, going through a relationship transition. And I'm currently still in the space that we were living in together, and now I'm on my own, which is a really beautiful process. And these angel wings have been such an anchor point for me because, yeah, I've been feeling lots of things. When you just think that things are going to go one way, and then they actually transition into something completely different. Welcome to life, right? Um, and so, while I understand that actually it was for the best, I'm still letting myself feel it all and process through that. So, in these times, creativity and art are a lifeline, truly. So, I've got friends coming over tomorrow morning, and we're also going to be creating together and just, um, yeah, I don't know exactly. We're going to just kind of let life flow. And don't know exactly, we have clothes that we're designing, and we've got some, um, different materials that we're going to be playing with. But I think it's safe to say that all of us are kind of going through a deep transitional period. So love on yourselves during this time. Be gentle and recognize that this is all a part of a very specific process. And we're all going through a metamorphosis. And this is a lot of what my brand is about. It's talking about death and rebirth, baby. None of us are making it out of this thing alive. So in the meantime, the path of beauty is the point. Creating beauty in the world, even if that's just smiling at somebody, even if that's just being kind and creating space for someone else to feel a little bit more seen and loved. Got a lot of dissonance happening right now, folks. A lot of people not in their hearts, a lot of people just completely losing touch. And for me, that's tough because I don't know about you guys. I'm a deep empath and I feel things super, super deep. So when I see that the world is suffering, I cry, when it comes to all of these world wars. Oh, it's just devastating for me. I'm like, no, why is this happening? It just feels like, what's the point? There's a lot of feelings of doubt and just feeling like, uh, what's the word? Helpless. And like, I want to support more. I'm one that really likes to support more. And yet I'm really trusting myself in this process and realizing that I need some time to myself. So I've been spending more time in solitude and, um, yeah, just really being gentle with myself in this season. So that feels really good. And also lonely. It's a little lonely to just be recognizing that you need the space, but also, you know, I was having a dream last night, actually. Speaking of lonely, I just see this vision of a future timeline in our world where we're a lot more community based and where we're not so separate. And I had a dream of this community, and I actually recorded it in my dream app. If you don't record your dreams, I highly recommend it. And in the dream, there was this whole community of people. It was mixed between children and elders. And there was a theater performance that was going to happen. It was super relaxed. It wasn't like this ornate theater. It was literally just this like outdoor show that the community was putting on. And they were talking about the story of like one of the Bible stories, actually. So Mother Mary was one of the characters. Thought it was very interesting that Mother Mary showed up in my dreams, but as a community member that was playing her, and she was using parts of my clothing that I had donated to the community to dress up, and she had them like over her head, like the little shawl over her head. And then one of the other community members that was an adult was pretending to be baby Jesus. And he was like underneath a bunch of this pile of clothes. And then as she was pretending to be, giving birth, she was like, like doing this like, uh, fake birth and performing this piece. And then this adult head came out, but it was like wrapped up in all these little blankets. And, and then it transitioned to this part of like this barter system that the community had. And they were bartering different goods to get different things. I thought that was such a cool dream to have because I was like, wow, in days like today, we can barter. And how cool is that? Just to come together and realize that we've got resources that each of us can benefit from. So, like today, I'm offering my services by just creating creativity, and then you get to benefit from getting inspired. And so, that's a part of being an artist as well. It's just to create the consistent inspiration in spirit, right? Okay, now I'm going to use this makeup brush, which is not clean, by the way. That's all right, because we're just using this on the painting. And I'm going to use this bronzer to kind of create some shading on this. I was hoping it would be a little darker. Let's see. Yeah, add some shading. Seeing some shading come on here. And that just gives depth, right? Actually, pretty cool to do. Oh, here's an old card that I made. Didn't know that was in here. Okay, so we're going to use some of the shading down here. This little tunic keeps falling down. All right. The ears. You're getting a lesson on contour. This is actually how I learned to do makeup really well. It was actually one of my first jobs was at using another bake brush like this to kind of dust things away. Um, I started doing face charts at MAC. One of my first jobs was at MAC Cosmetics. And so I started doing these face charts. So this takes me back to those days. See how we're getting some shading in here? So a face, normally, this is kind of the dimensions and where the sun hits like that. There we go. We like it. We like it. Oh, and we can actually do the blush too. Cool. See? Getting some blushed cheeks here. Can do a little bit on the forehead. This is also a trick. Is this a makeup lesson or is this a self-portrait art lesson? Who knows? Same thing. Okay, next. I'm excited because I actually used this in a painting recently, this little whiteout stick. And I actually loved how it came out. So I was like, ooh, I want to use this. What is this going to look like? So I'm going to use this to create the whites of the eye, like the shape of the eyes. And I'm going to exaggerate a little bit here. Like that. So the eye line is going to be pretty much like around where the ears are. So I'm going to create, ooh, that one didn't stick. Let's see. Hopefully this will work. It worked on my other painting, so let's check it out. And it's going to add a really cool texture, which is dope too. Oh no, it's not sticking. It's stuck to the other one. Maybe this is too soft. Like the base of this is a little too, hmm. Let's see. If you have liquid whiteout, it would work. This is one of those contraption ones. Okay. So this isn't working as well. Let's see if I can keep trying on this side. I'll show you another painting that I did the other day where it did work. Here's another self-portrait I did the other day. So the whites are all from this contraption. So I used it and I was like, cool, but it's not working the same. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's because of the background, but look at how cool these eyes came out. These beautiful. So yeah, this is a piece I created the other day. So it does work. And I don't know why this one isn't. Let me check and see if I just have different pressure point. No, it's not working on this one. This is why we try. Oh, it is working when I do it this way. No, it's not. Let me see. I'm determined. We're determined to try and make this work. Okay. Okay, it's working a little. When I have it down here and I'm putting a little bit of a different pressure on it. Maybe it's because I wasn't pressing down hard enough earlier. Let me check. I need a fresh strip here. One thing I love about creativity is exactly this, is you just try things, you know? Like there's just no rules. That's why I love art because people, especially these days, are coming out with the coolest things using recycled items. And just like today, I wanted to create stuff from household instead of it being like, okay, and now go to your local Blick and spend $200 on art supplies. Art supplies are expensive. They're fucking expensive. So it's it can be an expensive hobby if you don't know. Yeah, this isn't working, guys. How sad. Okay. Let me see. I really want it to work. Let me see. It's just not working as planned. I have like a little bit here. See, it happened on this side. Happened a little. Oh, those eyes are a little. No, yeah, that's about right. Okay. I might have to cheat a little bit and use, what could we use that's white other than, I don't have another whiteout thing. Is there anything in the kitchen that we could use that's white? I mean, off the top of my head, nothing super quick. I mean, you could use, if you had enough time, I'm trying to do this like obviously live. So uh you could use like frosting. Okay, kind of doing it this way is working a little bit. If I use a lot of pressure, I'm just kind of, it's not kind of working the same way that I've worked on my other painting, but that's all right. Maybe I just need to make this one a little bit messier. You just got to trust the process. Okay, yeah, I'm just giving it some. See, it's like happening a little bit messier than what I was thinking, but it's okay. Just trust. That's the thing. It's enough to where it gets the idea across. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. We're making moves. Okay, so here's where we're at. They're a little, they're going to be, I'm going to do some sad eyes because I've been feeling, like I said, a little bit sad, and that's okay. Feel it all. Honor where we're at. I've had a few days of just some deeper emotions coming through. So today's going to be a little bit, yeah. Okay. We did it. Okay. We did it. We did it. So, and it's textured, which I really like actually. I'm going to take that piece off. See, just use your nail, scratch it off. So we've got some eyeballs. We've got some eyeballs. Eyebrows are going to be here. So I'm going to use, I'll show you this how I do this. All right. So nose is going to be like around here. Eyebrows here. They're a little bit, we have, like I said, Frida is our spirit guide today. So they're going to be a bit unruly. We love unruly eyebrows these days because the days of perfectly tweezed and Botox filled faces hopefully are seeing some completion. Everyone's starting to look like a template of each other. I don't know about you guys. It's just not my thing. It's just a little bit boring. I like imperfections, which is why I've been just really inspired by Frida because, as you guys know, maybe you don't know, I go by 11 because I was born with 11 toes. So the template of like exacts or, perfection doesn't really land for me. It's not it. Okay. We're going to do like a light lid here. Oop, there you go. We're going to do some exaggerated. You see how like messy too? I'm not doing this like super. There you go. These eyes are going to be looking this way, actually. So we're going to have them that way. Kind of like looking down. That's how I see it. Because the head is a bit turned, it seems. So the other trick to do with eyes is you gotta do some shading. And that's what creates, we're gonna use that same indigo, the butterfly pea flower to make the shading for the eyes. And the inside of the eye here is the black, but we're gonna use a little bit of the, let's see a little closer. This is like kind of like an art class today too, which is kind of fun. I want you guys to create your own things though, so I hope you guys are creating something fun. I would really love to see what it is. So if you DM me here on Substack, YouTube, or Instagram, and just send me what you guys created, it would be so cool to see what you guys came up with. Okay, so I need to put in the eye color. See, because this is not this white part here is actually the color of the eyes. So again, I'm not using anything from I'm not using anything. So we're going to use more of concentrated cocoa powder to make the brown eyes. So I'm just packing it on there so we can create. I want you guys to see this in the palette. So I've got cocoa powder, as you can see. So you see it over this way. It's actually just nice and concentrated. So it's a dark brown instead of like the skin color was more light. But if you have it more concentrated, then it makes it darker. Yeah, like that. It's wild to think about that certain artists become multi-millionaires, if not billionaires, after they die. Something I've been considering a lot about. I'm just going, who knows? I might be creating this here today, and one day later, after I die, this could be. I literally sign every single thing that I create. I sign at the bottom because I'm like, you just never know. Even a ton of, so I give out tons of cards like this. This is just like, I used lace. This one isn't finished, but I used lace on the background. And then this is not a finished card, but I give away cards, handmade cards. I've given out hundreds, if not, it could be in my lifetime, 1,000. I don't know. I've given out so many handmade cards. And I signed them all because I'm just like, you never know. This could be worth money one day. So it's just a way of thinking about, Frida Kahlo did not know that her art would one day, be sold. I'm here in Mexico, and literally she's such an icon that I don't think she would actually like how commodified some of her stuff is. She wasn't like that. She won't like the over commodification of things. So that's how I would feel in the future if, like, you know, things of mine were sold on the street and just, she's such an icon, but I don't know if she would have actually loved all the things that people are doing with some of her face. It's just an interesting thing to witness. But such is life. Such is life, you know? Je know? Okay, so we've got a simple nose here. And then how I wanted to, oh, and we're going to create the little, can't forget the little marks under the nose here. Cupid's bow. Cupid's bow. Ash, hello. Thanks for being here. Okay, so I thought of an idea. I thought of putting on red lipstick and then using that as my lip marks. So I don't wear a lot of lipstick anymore. My days of being a beauty influencer are complete. At least I think. Who knows? Never say never, but I don't wear a lot of lipsticks. It feels too femme for me. But sometimes I will. Well, especially red. Red is a commitment. But I really have been. I've been inspired more by Frida. She always wore red lips. It's such a classic thing for women to do. And I've been having another femme moment and connecting back with my inner feminine side. And it's been a beautiful and deep process. There we go. This is a nice red. Kisses to you guys. Okay, so I'm going to use this to do my... And because her face is turned a little bit, we're going to have to... Oh, man, let's see. Okay, once it's done, it's done. I'm just trying to... Oh, I got to take my hat off. Take my hat off. That's another thing. Okay, I'm trying to think of... Well... There we go. Yes, cool. Another fun fact about Frida is that all of her letters, love letters, she was known to be a poet. A lot of her letters are signed off with her kiss marks. So that's what inspired me to do that and to create. And I kind of like it that it's a little bit faded. This is actually, not quite the lipstick to do it with, because this is one of those long wear ones. So I knew it wasn't really going to fully imprint, but I kind of like it that it's just kind of faded. Yeah, nice. So what you can do is, I think, do we like it? Do we like it, or should we outline? I don't know if I even want to outline. Maybe I'm going to do the inside. I'm going to do a little bit in the inside here. Like a parted mouth. Because I think she has like an expression like I don't know. She is me. Maybe now we do need to, I guess we do need to outline, huh? Okay. Those are some voluptuous lips here, lady. Yeah, she's got kind of an expression, an interesting expression. These eyes are a little close together, but it's okay. It's all right. And one thing that I was thinking about, we're going to do the earrings. I want this to actually be an emotive piece, like I said. So, we never used the beet powder. Okay, let's use the beet powder. What can we use the beet powder for? The beet powder has this dope reddish. So I'm thinking... Maybe we'll add some dimension. I don't want to fill in the lips because we've already got that. So we're gonna add some. We're gonna use the beet powder. Oop, I think I need a fresh round of it. Oh yeah, it's really been amazing for me to use natural items like this. And again, at the end of this live stream, I'm gonna reveal one of the paintings that is actually it is for sale. It will be worth a lot of money one day. Mark my words. But it is. I'm using this to kind of create another layer dimension for this backdrop. Just because why not? Beet powder, by the way, totally looks like blood. So for my horror freaks or my gory ones, if you ever do Halloween makeup and you need something to look like blood, just saying, beet powder. Beet powder. Okay, and because I don't want it to actually look I don't want it to look like two different colors. I want to blend them. Then I'm going to go back over it so it'll be more purple with the butterfly pea flower. This is the self-portrait that I came out with today, but we're not done. We're going to use, remember, those bay leaves for the earrings. So this is, ooh, I kind of like that it's dripping. I like drips. I love drips. I just love creating, like even when I do tie-dye and when I just love kind of messier art. I just have such a good time. It's so cathartic for me. Okay, so we can kind of create, yeah, it's more of a, there we go. How do we feel? All right, interesting. It's always interesting to do some of these art things. And I'm like, do I hate this or do I love this? And that's, again, kind of the point. Oops, I'm dripping butterfly pea flower here. Have you guys drank butterfly pea flower? This tea, by the way. So this, I'm going to show you guys. I don't know if it has the website office on here. Oh, it is Tierra de Colores MX. So that's where it says matcha azul, but then if you look really close, it says butterfly pea flower. So that's that rich, and let me show you what these flowers look like. This is just boiled for a little bit of time, and I want you to see like the color. Look at that rich blue color. So I started using this in some of my art pieces. I'm going to show you another piece that I made. It makes this really beautiful, rich indigo. So when I have more time to create, oops, it's upside down. There we go. This is these little spirits that I like to draw. And so I created this piece. And this is using the butterfly pea flower. So another piece that I made, I just needed to get some mess of my mind out. So this one says, again, that's upside down. Wow. No matter how you wipe it neatly under the rug, it's still there. So this is that butterfly pea flower actually dried. And then I just created this piece. Oh yeah. And then the corner has like this little spirit and it looked like a headstone. So I put RIP. Oh yeah. So it says, no matter how you wipe it neatly under the rug, it's still there. You can't hide. And then in gold letters, it's kind of like hard to see. It says, I love myself, all aspects, even the parts. Oh, what does that say? Even the parts I want to banish into the great beyond. All is a part of me. Yeah, so this is just like a cathartic piece that it was just like, it turned out way messier than I thought because like I wiped it on accident with a rug. Like I thought, or not a rug, with a rag, excuse me. And I wiped it and then it wasn't dry. So it made these swipes. So I was like, okay, now what am I going to do with that? So again, this is not a piece that I'm like, oh, this is a masterpiece necessarily, but I just went with it. And that's my catharsis. So that was the theme. No matter how you wipe it neatly under the rug, it's still there. And that was the theme of this piece. And I think if you ask a lot of artists, happy accidents. Actually, isn't that Bob Ross? Bob Ross talks about happy accidents. That's so cute. All right. Okay, we're back to this crazy one. We're back to this crazy one. Oh, I like how this cocoa powder dried. Look at the eyes. How cool is that? I wonder if I can go over the eyes to create a little bit more. No, I don't think so. It's a little bit. No, because of how it dries. Yeah, I just wanted to add like some of the little lines in the eyes. Okay. I'm going to use a glue stick and I'm gonna glue these leaves, the bay leaves from the kitchen. If you guys use bay leaves in any of your recipes, feel free to steal like an artist. If you ever read that book, steal like an artist and try this on for size. Use some found items. In Mexico, they call them hojas de laurel, but really it's bay leaves. So I really liked how there was like small ones. I thought it'd be cool to kind of layer. All right, well, I've got small ones here. Okay. Ooh, I really like how textured this is gonna be. Let me see. Do we have some smaller pieces here? Okay, here's another small one. Oh, I like this. This email is so cool. Show you guys here in a minute. I just put a healthy amount of glue stick down. Again, a household item. And I need one more small bay leaf. Kind of layering these. I don't know if you guys add these into your meals, but highly recommend. In a good veggie soup. Oh, here's another small one. Perfect. Some of them are very large. This one. But I want to see the difference in size. I'm creating layers with some of these smaller ones. So oh, I need more glue stick. Let's see. This is fun. My hands are a little dirty, which is great. That means you made a good piece. If you're afraid to get your hands dirty, ask yourself why that is, like where that happened in your life where you're like needing to be so cleaned up and perfect all the time. It's just not the point. We got earrings, y'all. We got some bay leaf earrings. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I love it. All right. Okay, a trick that I wanted to show you with eyes to make them look a little bit more realistic. See if you can see something that might be a little bit different with these eyes. Obviously, they're a little differently created, but notice how there's a shadow. See this shadow here? That's what makes eyes look a lot more realistic. So we're going to create that shadow, but I'm going to use that butterfly pea, the indigo, because we're using, see? Oh, yeah. And over the white, it makes exactly that same kind of gray. But that adds more dimension. Feel free to use your fingers, like I said. If you need, oh, it's a little too wet. Oh, it's not working out as much as I wanted it to. That first one was good. This one worked out. We've got a little bit of a shadow here. This one, stay. All right. Again, trial and error, right? Trial and error. We've got a little shadow there. It's decent. I don't love this part up here. It's annoying me. Maybe we go over the hair with, I'm going to try this with the like more concentrated brown. Yeah, okay, that's cool. That fills it in a little bit more because I was not loving this hair here because you can see the scalp underneath. We're coming to a completion here. We're coming to a completion of the self-portrait art therapy. Did you guys create one? Did you at least even do a sticky note? What did we do on your end? I may not know you by name. I love to do this on live streams. I may not know you by name. I might not know what you're carrying as far as grief or contemplation, you know? You're just out here somehow finding your way to me. And I'm really grateful that we spent this time together. So thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing to put one foot in front of the other in a time in the world that is going through a lot. I really honor you. I can safely say this, even though I don't know you, I love you because an aspect of me is you, right? We're all children of the Great Spirit, the source of the force, that which we know to be love. And it is truly a miraculous thing that out of 7-8 billion people in many different areas, somehow we found each other today on this full moon on June 11th, 2025. So I appreciate you hanging out with me. The final thing, I'm just adding some other little details, some other little final things that I like to do with my art. So adding some little things with the hair, some little wispies. We love wispies. She looks like she's got a shocked face. And that's how I feel. That's like such a metaphor of how I'm feeling. Some of the comments that people are making these days, pretty shocking. I'll just speak to it. Some of these current timelines that we're in, where people are facing deportation, and I'm actually here in Mexico. But remember, the areas in which people are getting deported right now used to be Mexico. So it's this very funny paradox that's happening. And it's very eye-opening to hear some of what people are saying. And it makes me emotional. It makes me cry. So the very final thing that I'm going to add to this self-portrait is some tears. I'm going to add some tears. And that's a lot of my work these days is actually, let's see if this is going to go down the face a little bit more. You can drip. You have my consent to drip a little bit. There we go. She's doing some crying because, yeah, there's some things happening, some people saying and doing some things that are sad to me, very sad. And I, again, use creativity to transmute to alchemize. However, the very last thing, and this is the only thing I'm using today that isn't a household item. It is from an art store, but this is the final thing that I'll add because I did get this at a professional art store. Um, but it's this really beautiful gold mica palette. And it's something that I spent a good amount of money on, and I was just like so grateful for it. So you can tell which one I love the most. This middle one has this most beautiful gold. So alchemy is taking one thing and turning it into another, and often into gold, into beauty, right? So we're taking some of our sadness or our pain. That wasn't wet enough. I wanted it to feel a little bit more like it has the ability to run. There we go. You can drip. You can drip. So there we go. We've got some gold running down there. Because that is what we're doing, is we're turning it into gold, into beauty. And that's just going to add a little bit of depth to these tears. And then for the final thing before I go this evening is I'm going to reveal another painting that I created over these last few weeks. That is also crying. And another, Indigenous self-portrait inspired piece that I came up with using a lot of also natural items, natural organic materials. Okay, that feels complete. So the very last thing to do is sign it off. My birth name is actually Lynette Sine, so I've been signing off some things, but then I always add like an 11 in there. So it has my autograph, but also, okay, I gotta put the date. Okay, 2025. So there we go. Here is a random found items household items piece. I hope that you guys had a good time adding one last thing. See, as an artist, it's like we love details. I love details, so I'm like, wait, I don't know if I'm confused with some of these. But how many of us know this type of face where we're just covered in snot? We're just kind of like wiping away. One other thing I'll remind you is that the ancestors are reminded, or they're remembered, when the saline tears fall from our face. So when you allow yourself to feel it all, the ancestors are remembered. So thank you for doing that. Thank you, Frida, for being our spirit guide for this today. We love you. We honor you and your life. And I'm going to show you the final of this large piece that I made. This is the back end, don't worry. Are you ready? You guys are the first of the first to see this. Dun dun, drum roll, please. Here we go. This is a piece that I have literally put blood, sweat, and tears into. She's also crying. She is me. She's a version of me. She's my grandmother. She's some of the other beautiful women of this culture. I also, did those eyes, and I did them inside of roses. This actually represents my native indigenous background, but then the roses also represent my French side. So roses to me are like French priestess. I did an ode to the desert where I'm from up here with the um, saguaros, but see that butterfly pea flower? And this is some of the beet powder as well. So I used tea. So to see this beige, this was tea that has like, see how beautiful that gold looks in her tears. Oh, this piece has been, I literally look at it every day and I'm just like, I sit and stare at it and I'm like, wow, thank you. Such a gift. Hello, Wade. Thanks for being here. And then I did these DNA strands. And there's like these little spirits, the same spirits that I draw. And then see, these have the 11 toes. So this is anointed with different essential oils. So this piece actually like perfumes the air. Not that you'll be able to continue to smell because this needs to be framed. Um, but yeah, this is a piece that I just recently completed and I feel really grateful for. And there are 11 different eyes. There's actually technically 13 because if you count these two. But there's 11 different eyes also on the painting. So yeah, I've been working on this one and it's felt so fun. Oh, and then there's also some words here hidden that if you look closely, you can see them. It says, Los ancestros tra- lloran a través de mí. It means the ancestors cry through me. And yeah, there's like also like a little small hidden eye here. And what I do is I just take the shapes and I see like different gaps where like the T didn't hit. And I just put like cool little spirals. And over here, there's also a spirit. If you look close, there's actually a face here, a little infinity symbol in a hand. See? Like there's just little secrets and an experience. So this one is going on sale. And I'm very, very honored. And it's going to be hard to let go of this one because this one I put in so much intention, so much anointing. I was literally clearing it with my copal and my rose resin, and I anointed it with oils, tabacacito y vanilla y myrrh. There's like tobacco, vanilla, myrrh, blue lotus, Egyptian amber. Um, and I have that all on a spray. So I like sprayed the paper with these anointing oils, and there's a lot of special intention that went into this piece. So that is the reveal of a piece that I made. So thank you for creating this with me today, this funky little self-portrait. And I appreciate you all of how you're showing up in the world, no matter what that looks like, even if it's in small ways. Chances are, if you're on Substack, you're doing something amazing. And I just really appreciate you. So I'm going to complete my journey with you guys today. If you feel like supporting me, my Venmo is I am 11. If you want to donate to this class, it's just I am 11XX. It's my Venmo. I just love to offer if people desire to support the arts. This is a way that you can support me. If you enjoyed this class, send a little love. Um, that's a way that, yeah, I buy groceries and just, no need to if that also isn't available for you. I completely understand. But if you are able to send a little energy exchange, then I graciously accept. And I appreciate you all for being here, truly. And I wish you well. I wish that you would connect deeper with your heart. So thank you. You did that here in the last hour, and it's been really felt. So I'm off. Happy full moon, and we'll see you guys next time.